What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday there was an Ask Me Anything on Reddit from Sledgehammer Games as well as Michael Condrey, he was there as well, and they were answering a ton of questions about CoD WW2, so today I'm going to be summing up all the important information that we learned yesterday. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so I'm just going to start going through the list here, and I'm going to start it off with the most important thing, and the thing that I'm absolutely the most happy to see out of all of this, and I honestly didn't expect this. It has now been confirmed that the tick rate on the servers will be up to 60 Hz for this game. For those of you guys that don't understand what tick rate is, just the basics of it is, it's how often information is sent to and from the server. For the past several years in Call of Duty, the tick rate has been like 10 to 20 Hz, and that means 10 to 20 times per second information will be going back and forth between your client and the server. What this means is there's a lot of inconsistency in game as far as like what you see and what actually happened and everything. A lot of this comes down to the tick rate because it's not updating as fast as your frames are updating because the game runs at 60 FPS. It's running at a fraction of that. With the 60 Hz tick rate, which they confirmed to be both up as well as downstream, this means that the tick rate is now matching our frame rate, and this is huge for Call of Duty. Call of Duty was definitely starting to fall behind in the industry. Everybody else had much higher tick rates, and they started to become kind of a joke, and I'm very happy to see that they have now confirmed this 60 Hz tick rate. I honestly didn't expect that to happen this year, but I'm really happy. It seems they're taking the step in the right direction. Now, I will say they haven't confirmed whether or not this is going to be 100% dedicated servers all the time, or if they're going to be using the system that we've been using for the past several years, where it will try to put you on a dedicated server, but if you're too far from a dedicated server, or there just isn't space available on it, then you'll go to a peer-to-peer system. I'm thinking it's still likely to be that hybrid system, and then also if you do end up on a peer-to-peer connection, it probably won't be a 60 Hz connection. But at least for the dedicated servers, it has been confirmed that we're getting that 60 Hz tick rate, which is going to lead to a much more consistent and reliable connection experience. It's not going to eliminate lag and latency and everything like that, so for those of you guys that are thinking, we're saved, we'll never have to deal with lag again, that's just not the case, but this is going to lead to a much more consistent connection experience. So right there, that's already huge news, and I'm extremely happy to see that. Basically, nothing else here matters to me aside from that, but let's continue on through the list. One other thing that was confirmed to not be in the game this year is Clan Wars. A lot of people have been wondering about Clan Wars. I know there are a lot of people that really enjoy Clan Wars. Personally, I didn't enjoy the way that they handled it in the previous years, simply because it encouraged parties to find the weak solo players and just beat up on them every single game, rather than actually having clans compete against clans. But I do realize there's a lot of people that will be disappointed by this news. They were hoping Clan Wars would return this year, and that's just not going to be the case. Also, something that's confirmed to not be in the game is a co-op campaign experience. They have confirmed that it's going to be single player only. There is no co-op campaign, which is totally fine and really not out of the ordinary for Call of Duty. As for ranked play, we got a little bit of information on this, not really too much information, more of like a teaser. But they did say they're working with ranked play as well as game battles, so it looks like we might be seeing game battles integration into a proper ranked play playlist. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I know they've been working with a lot of the pros recently. The pros have been coming in and playing the game and finding out the proper rule set and everything that they're going to be using and the maps and modes they're going to be playing. And I'm hoping they're going to have really good competitive support this year, unlike Infinite Warfare, which kind of failed in this area. Also, we got a little bit of info on when we will be getting info on zombies. They didn't give us any actual info, but they said in the coming weeks we're going to be getting some zombies info at Comic-Con as well as on zombies YouTube channels, so definitely keep an eye out for that stuff. As for supply drops, we got a little bit of information on supply drops, which I'm actually quite surprised to see. I thought they'd keep that stuff under wraps basically until launch or very shortly before launch, but they have essentially confirmed that supply drops will be in the game, which is absolutely no surprise whatsoever. We all knew that was going to be coming. And one thing that's kind of nice to hear, but at the same time it's like, yeah, we've heard this before. They've confirmed that supply drops will be cosmetic only. At least at launch, it's going to be cosmetic only. There will be no weapon variants with stat changers on them. But I'm going to remain a little bit skeptical here. We've been misled in the past with stuff like this. I don't doubt that at launch they will have no stat changing variants or guns or anything like that are locked behind supply drops. But it does seem quite likely that down the road they will likely be adding weapons, kind of like Modern Warfare Remastered most likely, or at least I'm kind of hoping for a system like that, where you either have to get it through supply drops or maybe a salvage or parts type system, it seems really likely that that's going to be the case because they simply won't be selling a ton of supply drops unless they do that. But we've seen it in the past before where they start off where it is cosmetic only, and then down the road they add stat-changed weapons. But it is nice to see that at least at launch we will not have weapon variants, it's just going to be standard weapons, and none of them at launch will be locked behind any sort of supply drop system. Also, they have confirmed that there will be direct ways to earn certain items, like cosmetic type items, through bounties, which is really nice to see. It looks like we're going to have like contract-like system, and instead of just earning keys or something like that to open supply drops, you can actually directly work towards an item that you actually want. Next, we've got a relatively minor thing to do with the division system. It's been confirmed that there's a basic training skill, which is kind of like the perks on our divisions, that allows you to keep your streak going through death. So it's just like persistence from Infinite Warfare. When you die, your streak doesn't reset, but the trade-off for this is the score streaks are going to cost a lot more score to earn. So it's kind of like having support streaks on. I hope they do it in a similar way to Infinite Warfare, where if you want to earn the highest streaks in the game with this perk, you really have to earn a ton of score, and you aren't essentially going to be guaranteed to get that every single game. I'm hoping that's going to be the case. I'm sure they're going to balance it out well, but that's something that we haven't seen before from Sledgehammer, and it's nice to get a little bit more information on some basic training skills. Now, one final thing as far as the important things from this AMA is a little bit of a clarification on the divisions and how the division system works. In the past, it seems like they would dodge this question, or they just were never really perfectly crystal clear about their answer with this. A lot of people have been wondering, can you use guns that aren't typically designed for that particular division? Can you actually put those guns on that class? So let's just say you're using the Mountain Division, for instance, which is the sniping class. Can you put an assault rifle on there instead of a sniper rifle to start with? And the answer to this is yes, you can. But you don't get that division skill applied to your gun. So if you do use an assault rifle with the Mountain Division, you don't get a bayonet on that assault rifle, which is totally fair and understandable. Initially, it seemed like this wasn't going to be possible, and then they kind of hinted at the fact that maybe it would be, maybe it wouldn't be. They weren't really clear, but now we know for sure you can use weapon types across all divisions. Just keep in mind, you won't get that division skill unless you're using the proper weapon type for that division. So if you want to run an SMG with the Expeditionary Division, you can do that. If you want to run a sniper rifle with the Airborne Division, you can do that as well. And with that, we're going to wrap up today's video. There were a few other little things that they answered, but it's not really stuff that I feel is important to share. A lot of it was more so like their feelings on previous Call of Duty games or the creative direction that they were taking, something like that. I wanted to focus more so on the concrete information that's going to be affecting how the game actually is. And with that, I'd like to know in the comment section below, out of all of this news and all of this information, is there anything that you're really happy about or anything you're disappointed about, like maybe Clan Wars, maybe you were really looking forward to that? Let me know in the comment section below. For me, I think I've said it already a couple times in this video, but I can't stress it enough. I am so happy that we're going to be getting a 60 Hz tick rate. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.